the Moose, Musa Smith, UGA, former UGA Bulldog superstar, former Baltimore Ravens running back, 5 years in the league. What we want to do is we want to give the viewers, the listeners, we want to give them an opportunity to get inside what you went through your journey from high school to pro to obviously super dad now that you are as well. So, and super husband as well. So let's get started. If you're ready to roll, let's roll.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, we fired up, got something to say. No filters here, we don't play it safe. Hot takes fly, better brace for the blast. Welcome to that chapter. Let's go!
Welcome to the Chapped Ass Podcast, a face for radio. I'm your host, Chap Green, and I'm here today kicking it live with the man, the myth, the legend, the Moose, Musa Smith, UGA, former UGA Bulldog superstar, former Baltimore Ravens running back, 5 years in the league. Welcome to the show, Musa. How are you?
Man, I am doing awesome. I'm blessed. I appreciate you having me on the show.
It took us a minute to get together, but we finally got it working, right?
Definitely did. You know how life is. It's
Absolutely.
crazy, doing a regular job, 9 to 5, and that's been great. And so I work with a colleague of yours in the softball world
That's
and everything.
right.
And so that's how we actually got connected.
Yeah, I love it. Shout out to Howie McCormack, by the way.
Absolutely.
Right?
Shout out
but
to
I appreciate
Howie.
you being here, bud.
Yeah, absolutely.
But real quick, just for sponsors, hey, give us a call. We're looking for sponsorship always. Please subscribe to us. Follow us on YouTube at Chapped A Podcast, CHAPPED A Podcast, on Spotify, on YouTube, and follow us on all our socials. And leave us a 5-star comment and let us know.
Let's do it, guys.
Let's go. So let's go back to West Perry High School where it all started, right? And that's in, is that in PA, I believe?
That's in South Central Pennsylvania, out in the boondocks, baby.
Well, talk to me about it. How'd that work growing up? How was your football career from freshman to senior year at West Perry?
You know what? It was truly an awesome experience. I mean, I still have day one friends from there. Just two guys that I really stay in contact with. But from a football standpoint, my freshman year, it was not a great year.
Okay.
It was not a great year. It was Musa up the middle, Musa up the middle, Musa up the middle. And I was like 145 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
And just getting my ass tattooed left and right. And then sophomore year was kind of the same thing, and then we had a coaching change.
Okay.
And that's when everything really kind of kicked started for me. And the coaching change was awesome. And I was playing running back. I was playing defense as a safety. But I remember this one game in particular. It was the first game of the season, and I just went off. And during pre-game warm up. A ball was actually kicked. Like our kickers were warming up and everything, and the ball was kicked, and I caught the ball one-handed.
Right.
And this was before Odell Beckham
Started
all that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And now you see all these glorified catches and all that. But my brother was there, and that was the blessing of actually being able to play not just high school ball, but me and my brother Tyler, we were able to play all from up there. We call it peewees.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was peewees, ponies, and then midgets, and we got to play ball the whole way up through high school. And so he was actually a senior that year. I was a junior, but ultimately I caught that ball one-handed, and my brother looked at me and he was like, oh shit, like he was like, it's about to happen,
right?
That type of thing. And so sure enough, that game it really kind of put me on the map. I had 10 carries for like 220 something yards or something like that.
22 yards a carry. Let's go.
just absolutely went off. And so had a great junior year, and I mean a really, really great junior year. And that's when all the buzz started to happen. Yeah. And granted, we didn't have social media back then.
Right.
We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have TikTok. We didn't have any of those things. And so it was just a good old fashioned newspaper and a VHS tape. But colleges and everybody was just like, hey, like, who is this guy? And especially a lot of people in the South don't know how big football is in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Like, it is huge.
Well, you got Ohio State and the Steelers. I know those are two of the biggest names up there, right?
Yes. So, you got some legendary people coming out of Pennsylvania and Ohio just from a football standpoint. And so sure enough, started getting a lot of inquiries, and a lot of coaches started calling, etc. And my one high school coach, he actually had a connection down to Georgia.
Okay.
Right? And so I actually visited Georgia, and there's kind of a really cool story behind that. Being from South Central Pennsylvania and coming from a family that didn't have much at all, I really never seen parts of the country. So my high school coaches, till this day, I'm so thankful for them, man. I worked a construction job during the summer, during my summer going into my senior year. I worked a construction job, and I actually did that specifically because whenever I was younger, my family were huge movie buffs, and one of the things that we loved to watch was actually martial arts movies, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And so always watching like the Shaolin monks and everything, hit trees with their hands, their legs and everything, bamboo sticks. So my thought was, if I work a construction job as a laborer, I'm out in the elements for basically 10 hours a day.
Right.
I'm working with concrete, I'm working with sand, and literally that summer, I was in the best shape of my life from just a high school standpoint.
Right.
So I came into my senior year well conditioned.
What size are you now?
I'm around 217 right now.
No, well, I meant in your senior year. What
My
size were
senior
you?
year,
Yeah.
started the senior year, I believe I was like 185.
Okay.
Yeah. And so just taking it back, the start of the summer, what my coaches would do, I would work the construction job as a laborer for basically four days, 10 hours a day. And then we would actually get in the van and we would visit different universities. And so they took me all the way down to Florida.
Yeah.
They took me all the way out the Midwest, Madison, Wisconsin. We stopped at Notre Dame. We stopped at Michigan State, Purdue, and whatnot. And so I got to see different parts of the country, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Really awesome. And so half of the time I was just sleeping. I didn't really see the country. I saw the cities.
Right. Oh, we're here. I'm getting out now. Let's go.
Exactly.
We're on campus.
Exactly. So one of the cool stories actually coming out of that was that I love to tell this story was we stopped at Michigan State, right?
Okay.
And the coach that actually was there, I forget his name. It doesn't even matter. But there was a coach that was actually really, really just warming, inviting. He was a great recruiter. He was in constant contact with, my high school coach, et cetera. And so long story, actually, it was Notre Dame. Sorry, not Michigan State. It was Notre Dame.
Okay.
And so Notre Dame actually sat me down at that point in time, and they kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay.
They rubbed me the wrong way. They literally were like acting like you're not that good. Like, if you get your SATs up to this score,
right,
maybe we'll make you an offer.
They're negative selling you.
And so I was sitting in the room with them, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me.
Right.
But that coach, that recruiter, he was awesome, phenomenal. And so my coaches were just like, hey, Moose, like, can we just see the history? Can we see this campus? I was like, absolutely. Like, you guys are doing me a huge favor. So we actually, we walked the grounds and everything, and a lot of history, great campus and everything. But years later, my high school coach, I'm talking after college, after my pro career, me and my coach actually connected one time on the phone call, and he's just like, hey, do you know who that recruiter was that was at Notre Dame?
Right.
That was like so awesome? I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. Like, I hated that place. I wanted to get the hell up out of there as quick as possible. It was Urban Meyer, man.
Oh, wow.
Urban Meyer.
Wow.
He is a good damn recruiter.
Yeah.
As we all know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He can dang sure talk it, right?
Yeah. So going into my senior year, there was one stop in particular, and I literally was in, I was in a little pickle because I really liked Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin was just phenomenal. The city, this is right on the Great Lake, and just the whole vibe. Plus, Ron Dane went there.
Yeah,
I was a huge Ron Dane fan.
Yeah, we all were.
Huge Ron Dane fan. So obviously him leaving, I was just like, hey, I can fill those shoes, that type of thing, blah, blah, blah. But when I stepped foot in Athens, it was just a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It was a gut feeling. the guys were actually doing Pascal 7-on-7, whatever you want to call it. And the recruiting coach at the time, he had introduced me to all the guys, and not even really introduced me to all the guys. The guys actually lined up. They were coming off the field, lined up to shake my hand. And it was just a warming welcome.
Right.
And I just knew it in my gut, like, this is where I want to go. And I didn't even know about all the whole Georgia history and everything, because growing up in the sticks of Pennsylvania, my backyard was woods and power lines. So we didn't get any TV reception.
Oh, no.
No TV reception.
Right.
So people started talking about, all these great players and all these names. I only know a few of them. I'm not like some super sports history buff or anything like that. So it was one of those things, like, I didn't know crap about Georgia. I just knew I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, like, I started getting filled in on all the history and everything like that. But ultimately, it was just that Southern charm, man, that Southern hospitality that I was drawn to that made me make that decision. So I made that decision without an official visit and anything. And I went into my senior year and absolutely, destroyed it and had a great senior year. And then, headed back down to Georgia.
Right. Well, recruiting wise, like, who were some of the main guys that were on your tail at that point coming after you? Obviously, you said you didn't take an OV to UGA, but you mentioned some schools, name dropped some schools. Who were the ones that you either were on you heavily, or you took some OVs to that you?
So believe it or not, I only took one official visit, and that was to Georgia after the fact.
Wow.
So I like getting in that van and just going to places and just seeing the facilities and everything. And now it's like, it's a whole production now.
Right.
Like they just build stuff for recruiting.
Sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They spend millions and millions of dollars just for recruiting. And so I was really high on Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
And then also just because I always loved the color baby blue, I was a huge North Carolina fan.
Yeah.
Just for the jersey.
Right.
Kind of like Oregon has, like, kids go out to Oregon just because they have
all the swag, all the
swag,
lots of swag, right?
every freaking game they're wearing something different. So
like 70 different combos or something crazy.
It was that, and then also I was an hour and a half, maybe hour 15 minutes away from State College, Penn State,
Right.
And so they were helping me heavily, and so Larry Johnson Sr. He was a coach there.
Okay.
Larry Johnson was already there, but then they had a younger brother or younger son, if you will, however point of view you're looking at it. Marcus Johnson, me and him were actually top running backs in the tri-state area.
Okay.
And so they were on me heavily, and they wanted me as a running back, but then they came back and they were just like, you know what? Because I was averaging like 2 picks a game in high school.
Right.
And so
no surprise.
Joe Paul actually sat me down, and man, God rest his soul. That guy, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome to sit down with, legendary in his own right mind. And he was just like, look, he's like, we really want you to be a DB. We want you to be in the secondary. And I was just like,
Right.
I want to tote this rock.
Right. Give me the ball, coach. Give me the ball.
I want to tote this rock. But he was just like, look, you have the size, you have the range, you have the speed, you have the footwork to cover these bigger receivers. And I've told this joke, and I'm gonna tell this joke.
Get it?
It was Sandusky that actually ruined it for me. He winked at me, and I was just like, you know what? No, I'm gonna take my ass down to Georgia.
Right.
But
that was before anybody knew about anything anyway.
He did not wink at me or anything. But
Right.
I got my ass up out of there.
Yeah.
But, just all the legends, that played at Penn State, from a running back position to a defense position. I'm actually forgetting his name right here. LeVar Arrington.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was huge fan of his.
Yeah.
And then all the running backs here, from Kajana Carter to whoever else.
Kurt Warner. There's a ton of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going the way back. I'm older than you are. But yeah, some of the way backs right there. But yeah, and you mentioned Larry Johnson. I mean, some of those guys, tons of them. But yeah, so as you are thinking about maybe Georgia, Penn State, I know that turns you off for the safety thing. Did Georgia ever give you any pushback on anything other than running back position?
No.
Good.
They wanted me to run that rock.
Coach Rick knew.
And actually, it was Coach Donnan.
Coach Donnan was your guy. Okay.
So I did one season under Coach Donnan, and then 2 with Coach Rick.
Okay.
But that backfield was stout.
Oh, yeah.
Very stout. You had Jasper Sanks.
Oh, yeah.
You had.
I got a few names we're going to bring up in a second. I got a few names we're going to bring up in a second.
Jasper Sanks. There was a guy named Darrell Green, Bruce Thornton.
Yeah. Number 7.
And then also there was another freshman that actually came in with me, and he was a big track star coming from the West Coast, Cali.
Okay.
And you talk about speed, Albert Hollis.
Okay.
So he came in highly recruited. I didn't know who the hell he was.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Right.
You know, I was just bright-eyed and just wanted an opportunity. And so, yeah, man, there's a lot behind that actually going into the first game, and then me actually getting my chance and the crowd screaming my name for the first time. That was exhilarating.
Yeah.
Electrifying.
Yeah.
And there's this, you know, you talk to, exactly. You talk to so many athletes about the locker room or game day that you will never get to experience again. And having 80-something thousand fans scream your name, regardless if I had a negative run or a positive run, they're going to scream my name. Man, you talk about
that just
adrenaline.
gives you chills, right? Oh, yeah.
Man, you would run
and they're
through a
all
brick
dressed
wall.
in red and black.
Red and black.
I love
sea
it.
of red and black
Yeah.
between the hedges.
That's
man.
amazing. That gives me chills thinking
Yeah.
about it, man. But before I want to get into some more of that Georgia stuff as we go. And I got a list of names I'm going to throw out there because they're unreal names. And then obviously as you get into the professional ranks, there's a ton of other great names too, including yourself. But I want to get into some of that. But I want to know your thoughts on the NIL/transfer portal and some of those things. What are your thoughts on sort of where they're at now? I'm sure you're probably happy for them, right?
I'm definitely happy. There's pros and cons to everything. It has definitely changed the game of college sports.
In a better way?
In a better way, but then, like I said, there's pros and cons to everything. And the negative is that kids aren't really going to the college to get the college experience or, you know, they always dreamed of like playing for that college. I mean, you still have that, but we throw the money piece in there and it changes everything.
Right.
And it's not just football. It is a landslide through college sports, et cetera, that it changes a lot. And actually, I was just talking to my wife on the way here, is where now you have kids walking around with designer bags that are not fake.
Right.
You have kids that are driving $200,000, $300,000 cars.
That's right.
You have kids that can come out of college that are way better off than even going to not just going to the league, but just period. They're able to start life off in a better way, and it's because of the NIL. So that's a positive of it.
Right.
But man, there needs to be a lot more regulation.
I agree 100%.
It is the absolute wild, wild west. You talk to some of these coaches, people that are actually close to the programs and what, they hate the shit.
Right.
They absolutely hate it.
Right.
And I feel them.
I do too.
Because from a portal standpoint, I don't think any, especially when you look at, because it is a business, but you look at, you know, the playoffs or whatever the case may be, and it's not just football. I mean, basketball. You have these coaches that have to deal with players leaving, and you're trying to make a championship run. What the F?
Right, I agree.
What the F?
I know it.
They shouldn't have to deal with that at all.
Right.
You know? And so then you have, you know, a similar situation. Well, we look at the Lane Kiffin situation. Right? Last year. Right? That's a whole damn debacle.
That's a mess. But Lane Kiffin is a mess. Let's be real. I mean, he's a mess. Kiffin is a big old mess.
It is. But, and so I really feel for these coaches because they have to deal with so much crap. Not only do they have to worry about players leaving, they got to worry about, we got to be recruiting too during this time. And you're going for a playoff. You're going for a championship run. Right. No coach should have to deal with that shit. Right. Period.
I agree.
Then also like the multiple transfers and everything. Look, and I don't even know if that law goes into effect this year, but I guess Trump signed an executive order or something like that. Yep. One transfer. You break it down for me. I'm sure you.
No, that's it. I think they're trying to set it up, and I think that's a great rule. You don't need to be able to go from school to school to school because now it's highest bidder, higher bidder, highest bidder, higher bidder. You know, just keeps going up, and it's all about the money. There's no brand loyalty, there's no team loyalty, there's no coach loyalty as far as player to coach, not coach to player, because the coach to player loyalty is still there. But I'll give you two examples of some of that real quick. Is like I just read the other day where University of Alabama, they're trying to negotiate your visit up front, and if you're not going to settle on whatever their money offer is, they're not bringing you in. And I say kudos to them that they can do that. I don't know how long you can keep that up, honestly. Dabo learned the hard way. You have to take some transfers and some NIL stuff.
Absolutely.
But at Auburn, I mean, like all those guys, Auburn had a great recruiting class 2 years ago. They came in last year as freshmen, didn't perform, fired the coach midseason, whatever that's worth, and then all those guys leave. I'd say take the money and run. I mean, they literally get paid. Now I'm going on to another bigger paycheck and going somewhere else because I'm just not happy here making my, $6 million. Paid $6 million for a tackle. He was like a turnstile. It's like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. So it's a business, but it's not a perfect business, and I'm glad that they are fixing it. I think being able to transfer too many times is crazy.
Yes.
And, being able to transfer in conference is even crazier. But, hey, okay, if that's what y'all want to do, go for it. But
not only that, to that point, like, and I remember specifically watching the first game of the Bulldogs season last year, and this stat came up, and it was like three teams that they literally had to replace over 50% of their roster.
Right.
Man, I wouldn't want to sign up for that crap.
No.
Hell no. That's just
even
madness. It's a wild, wild west.
Yeah.
It's madness, man. So,
and you can't bond with your teammates because they're going to be gone next year.
No.
Something crazy. The UGA baseball team. I think everyone. They had a killer season this year, and they're still playing. But I think every person on that team is new. I think they lost their entire roster from last season, basically. Not the entire roster, but 75-80% of their roster is completely turned over this year, and they're killing it, which tells you great coaching is there. But why are those kids leaving? It's just. I don't know. The loyalty part of it really hurts me because if you bleed red and black, you bleed red and black. If you bleed green dollar bills, that's different. And that's, to me as a fan and a teammate potentially, I just wouldn't. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, it really is, especially from a college standpoint. It's just what we're used to, the traditions and everything. It gets lost from a player standpoint.
Right.
Absolutely. And so I think not only it's a great thing that they're putting some regulation around the portal and the transfers as well. But I also think there needs to be contracts in place as well.
Agreed.
Because there's players and families, and granted, it's just not the player. It's, people that are around them, their circles and everything that are advising these players in a wrong way.
They're in their ear the wrong way.
They're in their ear the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you have these players that are accepting money and then thinking that they can just leave.
Right.
No.
Well,
no,
so when you say contract, this is the way I see that is, hey, we're going to pay you $4 million to come to UGA this year. If you leave, you owe me part of that contract back as breach of contract, right? I mean, that's completely fair. And I think that if they would work towards that, you might see a few less transfer portal entries.
You actually see players getting sued.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I think it makes sense.
as well.
Yeah, but you also see players, the UNLV quarterback 2 years ago, they didn't give him the money they said he would, or something didn't work out. He quit mid-season, and they were undefeated. It's like, what in the hell is going on with this sport, man? Golly. And so, again, no loyalty to any of that. But let's jump to Athens, man. Let's get into your freshman year at Athens, your sophomore year at Athens. You're obviously a fantastic junior year at Athens. We'll get into pretty deep here. But tell us a little bit about, you show up on campus. You show up for the Red and Black. You said Donnan was your coach the first year. How does that, as you arrive, what's the feeling there as a student athlete, or as an athlete, or as a student? What are the vibes you're picking up as you get there?
Man, coming from a small town up in Pennsylvania, Perry County, into Bloomfield, and then going down to Athens was actually a big culture shock for me.
Right.
But also just the players and everybody, again, that Southern hospitality. It's just so warming and inviting that you just fall in love with it.
Right.
And as you know, Athens is a very special place. And I know that not just because I've been there, but when you're in the season or even the off season, when you have other players from other teams and people coming to visit Athens, and that whole experience that downtown Athens brings to the table, is pretty freaking special.
Right.
So, but yeah, just coming in there, busting my butt. I mean, I remember reporting for rookie camp. There was just 3 of us, and actually Benjamin Watson, he actually transferred in from, I think it was Duke. It might have been Duke or North Carolina, or one of them. Okay. And he was there as a tight end, and that was like the first time that I ever saw a human being that freaking huge. Like,
right.
And especially how young he was at the time. It was just like, man, this is a freaking big human being. I was like, I'm going to be going up against these type of guys. And so training camp was a rookie training camp. Well, not rookie. Freshman training camp was awesome.
Did you redshirt?
I did not redshirt.
Okay. So you came into the
truth. I came in. And so, just going through everything, getting the ranks, getting the reps and all that stuff. then I just remember my first game that really stands out to me, right? And the first game was actually against Georgia Southern, the original AP, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And God, he could run the damn rock.
Yeah, he could.
He could run the rock. And he ran the rock very well against the Twin Towers, which was Richard Seymour and Marcus Stroud. And then also the following cast behind him. Like
Gathers was there, wasn't he?
Huh?
Gathers was there, wasn't he? Wasn't Gathers one of y'all's tackles?
Actually, Gathers came in the year after me. So
but those
he
are
wasn't
all
even there.
future NFL guys, though.
Yeah, but we had Terrell Biera. We had you had Boss Bailey. You had Tony Gilbert. You just had a ton of guys on that defense that were just absolute, ballers.
Right.
And so ultimately, like this moment stands out to me. I was pacing up and down the sideline. This is the first time ever, like in my career, where I'm not in the game.
Right.
And adrenaline is just pumping.
Right.
You're in front of 80 something thousand fans, and it's amazing atmosphere. And I like the adrenaline's just pumping. I'm racing up and down the sideline, just like couldn't control it. Right. And Coach Donnan looks at me. He's like, don't worry. Because I'll get you in.
Right.
And sure enough, I get my chance. And the first time that I run that damn rock, the whole freaking crowd breaks out. Moose. I said,
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
I said,
it.
you know what? I like this shit.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And then, and I did very well. But obviously, just like any rookie or freshman,
Sure.
you make mistakes and stuff like that. And so I just started working into in the rotation, so to speak. And there was another game that really kind of put me on the map, and that was actually against Tennessee that year. And I can remember it perfectly. There was one run in particular that stood out in my performance. And what's crazy about that run is that I actually had deja vu even in the league because it was a similar play. And when I was in the league, and I actually told Howie McCormack this,
Okay.
where I felt like I had been there before because the play opened up the same way, the blocks happened the same way. And when I was running the rock, I was just like, dude, I've been here. And this was in the league.
Right.
And this was based off of the run that I had against Tennessee.
Right.
And sure enough, we won that game, but I definitely did my thing that game. And that was the first time that I was ever part of a game where they tore down the field goal.
Right.
They took it through downtown Athens and everything. But not only that, the first time that, fans actually rushed the field.
Right.
And that was a freaking amazing experience.
A whole nother experience, right?
But I had a run in that game that was just phenomenal. And it was going into the west end zone. And it just opened up beautifully. And I took off. And sure enough, again, the crowd started going crazy.
Right.
And so I just worked my way into rotation, and I made the most out of my opportunities, right? And so that game really put me on the map. And then I was the starter. I think I was the starter after that, if I can remember.
Well, it looks to me as like a progression from like freshman to sophomore. You were about 70 carries your freshman year, and then it doubled to 123 your sophomore year, and then that doubled to 261 your junior year. But your freshman year, 5 tutties. Mm-hmm. Your sophomore year, 6 tutties. Your junior year, 8 tutties. I don't know if you remember all your stats.
No,
you probably don't remember. My doubt you do.
don't.
But people like me, dorks like me, are all into that stuff. But so you had a killer progression. But I mean, you were steady on your touchdowns all the time, so you got to hear Moose a bunch, right? So, so again, back on the Georgia stuff, as you're going through that, like, what are some of your favorite Bulldog traditions? What are some of your favorite things, pre-game, in-game, post-game, whatever?
Yeah. So the pregame, the night before the game, we would always go to Charlie Williams, and I don't know if any obviously the players today probably don't remember that. I think Charlie Williams is still around, but they don't have an actual location. I think they just do catering.
Okay.
But we would always go there as a team in action and eat. Also, just crazy Bulldog fans. We would go to the movies sometimes.
Right.
And there was one time we came out of the movie, and this guy was just a super fan. He had all of us sign his damn car.
Right.
Like we all
funny.
just signed his car, man.
That's cool.
It took off.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah,
I've
and
never heard
obviously
that one.
there's just so many more stories from, David Pollock. David Pollock, still in contact with him, great dude, and everything.
You played with
that
golf
he's
with him
doing
a couple
his
weeks ago,
family.
didn't you?
I definitely did, and so I remember David Pollock coming in, and I had JT Wall as a fullback.
Okay.
And if you know Pollock is very confident about himself.
Right.
But the thing about Pollock is that many can't do what Pollock does, and that is back up the freaking shit talking that he does.
Right.
And man, he would get players so mad, right down to even freaking playing Xbox. This guy would whoop everybody's ass in Halo when it first came out.
Right.
And the guys would hate it. They would hate it that Pollock was just beating the shit out of them. But that dude,
And backing it up.
backing it up, and that's the thing, he could back it up, man. But yeah, and then also like his amazing touchdown, fumble, whatever you want to call it, like right there in the end zone. I forget who we were playing. It might have been South Carolina, but either way, just so many great memories. And then obviously like downtown Athens.
Yeah,
That is just
As the kids say, it's lit.
as a young man, and
It's
just
lit.
being the guy on campus. There's just so many stories that I could actually go through that were just amazing.
Right.
But yeah, Athens is the real deal, man.
But everybody knows you. So you go to the movie theater, you go bowling, you go wherever. Everybody knows you. You're walking across campus. Everybody sees you. Everybody knows you. Everybody wants a part of your time, just like we do, by the way, on Chapped Ass Podcast. But so you're just the big man on campus. No pun intended, because you're ripped as well, and you still look awesome, as I told you when you came in today. You look good, baby. So, so you told us a minute ago, but walk us through one more time. Coming out of that stadium, the first time out of that tunnel into the stadium as a padded player, just the emotions, the whatever you're feeling. Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it I'm just ready to go show these fans what I can do?
You know what? It's for me, it was just I was wide-eyed and just like, this is it. This is it. And I had that similar experience whenever I made it to the NFL as well. But just in Athens, walking onto the field, I never played in front of 86,000 fans.
Right.
I mean, coming from a small town, I mean, shit, we were lucky to have 2,000 people at a game or whatever the case may be. And so just going, stepping onto the field during pregame warm-up and all that stuff, and then going into the locker room and, praying before we hit the field, and then that place is just rocking. When that place is rocking, it's deafening. It is loud. It's definitely loud. Been in many games, and that's actually one of the first things that I recognized too, is just like how loud it can actually be in a stadium, especially Athens, but then also talking about Bryce Stadium, the Gamecocks. That's the first time ever that I was actually on a field where you could feel the vibration just from how loud it was. That freaking rooster call and all that shit. But that was the first time that I was in the huddle where the quarterback actually had to say to play to the left side of the huddle, the middle side of the huddle, and then to the right side of the huddle, because you can't hear crap.
Right.
Quarterback is actually underneath the center, and you're like, what are you saying? You got to run up there and kind of get behind him. He has to turn around and say stuff to you. But Bryce Stadium, you talk about rocking, especially like Neyland Stadium as well. But then also just taking it a step further, and whenever I got to the league, having the F-16s fly over the freaking field, and I'm getting chills.
That'll get you.
Man, you talk about exhilarated. And at that, there was a moment, my first game, that I got to actually pad up and actually play in. I had that moment of just, man, this is it. I made it. This is a childhood dream. Yeah. I'm here. Let's go, baby.
Was that a childhood dream of yours to be in the NFL? I know you were obviously.
It was. In sixth grade, in my yearbook, I actually put that I wanted to be an NFL player.
That's awesome.
And I used to tell people that Emmitt Smith was my uncle, lying my ass off. He's not my uncle, but I was a big Cowboys fan. And it was just because he wore the number 22, so I rocked the number 22 from the time that it was Little League all the way up to the high school and everything. But whenever I made it down to Georgia, they switched me to 32 and I stuck with that.
Yeah. I said, I looked at your picture today of you breaking away in that Sugar Bowl, man. It's just like, I was like, I recognize the face, but that dude is just getting after it. I mean, it shows you in a breakaway. It's an awesome picture.
Yeah, so just a little bit more insight. So going into my sophomore year, I had a lot of hype around my name and what I was able to do just because of my freshman year, et cetera. And I was started off very good my sophomore year. But then I came down with this weird ass groin injury that only like hockey players get and all this stuff. But bottom line is that basically my whole groin area, even, the tendons that actually connected to your pubic bone and all that stuff, it was inflamed. And so I could run, but I wasn't running like I was used to.
Right.
I couldn't break tackles really.
Right.
Because pulling on my leg
Right.
was pulling on to everything that attached down there. And so I had a rough sophomore year, but it started off really good. And a lot of people don't notice that that groin injury went into my junior year as well.
Oh, no.
So what I did in my junior year, I did playing injured. And so that injury didn't clear up until I started training for the combine after my junior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not realize that. So did you miss some games in your sophomore year?
I did miss some games. Also, Veron Haynes, he actually took the running back position. So I wasn't even starter by the end of that year. And then just going into my junior year, I had it under control, but really didn't have it under control. But it was enough for me to do what I did my junior year.
Right. Well, you excelled. But I'm going to throw some names out here, man, just because these people realize some of these amazing players that you're playing with every day and practicing with every day. But you mentioned, Musa Smith, obviously, but David Green, Shock, Tyson Browning, Terrence Edwards, Reggie Brown, Damian Geary, Ben Watson, John Stinchcomb, Billy Bennett, we'll give some shout out with the kicker, Pollock, as you mentioned, Robert Gathers, Kedrick Golston, Boss Bailey, Chris Clemens, Thomas Davis, a potential Hall of Famer, Greg Blue, Tim Jennings. I mean, all those dudes were in the show. I mean, you're practicing, and those dudes are a lot of those guys are on D. You're going up against them every day. What's that like to go up against those guys, iron on iron, so to speak, in one-on-ones?
I think you said it best. Iron sharpens iron. When you have those type of hitters and those type of caliber of athletes, it only makes you raise your game.
Right.
You either rise with them or you're going to get left behind.
That's right.
And so ultimately, I just had I don't know if it was just, this whole country boy, laid back thing, not scared of shit, and just went out there and just did my thing. But I mean, definitely, when you go up against those guys, hey, you're gonna get some wins, but you're gonna take some losses.
That's right.
But they're not losses; they're lessons, etc. I don't know. I remember Thomas Davis. I used to go up against him and a guy named Derek White that you didn't even mention his name, but he was, dude. You talk about solid, solid. You hit that dude, it's just damn, what the hell are you made out of?
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? But
brick wall.
Thomas Davis, and then I don't know if you mentioned this other gentleman, but he actually was defensive player rookie of the year, and he played linebacker as well, and he played for the Bengals.
You'd have to give me a minute on that one.
Yeah, he was up there with Pollock, Robert Gathers. And the Bengals love us.
Yeah,
right. Now the Steelers love us, right?
Right, absolutely.
The name will come to me, but man, just these young guys pushing you every day at practice, and Coach Rick is there, and they're like I said, you're taking some wins and you're getting dealt some L's. They just, everybody on that team just truly made each other better. But Coach Rick had to come in and lay down the law, man, because I ain't gonna lie, we were
no fighting.
I wouldn't say I was a wild bunch, but we had a lot of wild dudes on that team. And Coach Rick brought in that culture of, not just individuals, but as a team and everything, and truly faith-based and all that. And, Matt Drills damn near killed half of our freaking team.
Right.
I'm surprised no one died. Seriously.
Right.
Those first 2 years, and I was talking to Kenny Bailey, which was Boss's and Champ's cousin.
Right.
We were actually, we played running back together as well. And dude, you talk about a phenomenal running back. That guy really pushed me, and we were battling for the 1 and 2 spot. And he actually decided to make a switch over to the defensive back. But honestly, he easily could have beat me out. He was that damn good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember Kenny Bailey back in the day. Okay.
Hey.
I remember Boston Champ, but I mean, maybe since he switched to defense, it didn't stand out to me.
Odell Thurman.
Oh yeah,
Odell Thurman was the linebacker.
Yeah.
I told you he was going to hit.
Yeah.
Me. So
Hammer.
I was going against those guys, and then you said Kendrell Bell. I mean, you're just talking guys, elite caliber,
right?
Elite caliber guys around you that just absolutely raised every every bit of you from a working out standpoint to actually being on the field, et cetera. You had to bring your best
right
every day in practice. And that's the way that we actually got down early on. And I know how coach, Rick used to run the practice, but then you go out there today and what these guys are doing under Kirby.
right
And it's just like
another level.
Holy crap! It's
Yeah.
another level.
Yeah, it really is.
You're bringing it.
Yeah.
Or it's the next man up.
He's got that microphone right
he has
behind
that
you, screaming at
microphone,
you,
and he is calling your ass out.
That's right.
Calling you out, and so it's awesome to see. But ultimately, man, blessed and fortunate enough to play with a lot of great talent, and then even in the league, how I like these guys truly made me better because I was scout team for the #1 defense 3 years in a row. I believe that is a stat and a fact. And running scout team against Ray Lewis, Ed Hartwell, Bart Scott, Ed Reed.
Dogs.
I mean,
Hall of Famers.
Haloti Nada, Kelly Gregg, just Adelius Thomas, across the board, Terrell Suggs,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I mean, I could just keep on going on and on. These guys absolutely freaking made me better. But you know what? Real recognizes real. And I tell this not to like brag on myself because I don't look at my NFL career as something great and I did things, but there was just moments that actually stood out to me. One, doing the run game against the #1 defense, and these guys telling you like, "Hey, boy, keep it up.
Right.
You're going to get your opportunity." But not only that, whenever you have Rex Ryan sees me what I'm doing on special teams, et cetera, and saying, "Hey, you're our emergency linebacker." Linebacker? I didn't play that fucking position.
Right. I'm a safety.
But you want me to play linebacker?
Joke, I'm a running back, dude. Get off of me, coach.
Yeah. But not only that, when you have Mike Singletary.
Oh, wow.
Mike Singletary, like recognizing your skills and everything like that. And just saying like, "Hey, keep it up, young man. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing." And then also when I first got to suit up and do my first play running back in a game, when all the starters from a defensive standpoint, these guys that I'm working against, right? When they stand up,
They're on the sidelines
and
for
they're
you.
on the sideline and they say Musa's getting in the game and they stand up to see what the hell you're going to do. It's like salute, like real recognizes real. And it's just mad respect. So man, there's just so many things that like, as I'm sitting here running through my head about all the memories and everything, but there's nothing better than the locker room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in a few
nothing
minutes,
better
I
than
want to hear
locker
about some crazy locker room stories in a few minutes that are clean enough that we can share or whatever. But I'm going to finish up on Georgia before we get into the show there. But so you have a dominant 2002 season. I mean, really and truly. And obviously you played injured a little bit, so that I don't think anybody knew that. You were 1,324 yards, 8 touchdowns, become the Sugar Bowl MVP. I forget what the Sugar Bowl MVP was called. What was that? The Miller Igby board? Do you remember that?
No,
the MVP board? Okay, well, you won it. You won it. But in the Sugar Bowl, you rushed and you beat Florida State. I think you had 123 carries, 145 yards, something like that. You had a dominant game. Y'all propelled to number 3 in the country, which was, I think, the highest Georgia had been in 100 years, maybe since Buck and Herschel and those guys. And so awesome right there. And that sort of propels you for the next phase, which is the NFL, as you're mentioning, and the draft. I want to get into the pre-draft processes a little bit too, if you will, and tell me about sort of what is the future professional pre-draft prospect before you get the agent. Like, what are your thoughts as your pre-draft right there before you've got your agent, or as you're going to go pro, you're declaring?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so just reflecting back on that, coming out of New Orleans, grabbing that title, Sugar Bowl champions, and then me also being the MVP, et cetera, just riding high. And I was in a position where, not having the sophomore year that I wanted to, but then having a good junior year, and then looking at the talent that's out there from a running back standpoint. You had Larry Johnson, you had Willis McGahee, you had me, and you had a few other guys. But just looking at the field, and then what made me actually make my decision is when Willis McGahee went down.
Yeah.
right?
He tore his knee up, right?
Tore his knee up, but also submitting that grade, you submit, and I think they still do this. It's like
Right.
where do they see you going?
Yeah.
And so I had
They
that
do.
first round grade, and like Willis McGahee went down. I was just like, damn, man, it's a sure thing. I'm gonna be first round.
Right.
It's time to go. And I remember sitting down with Coach Rick and just thanking him for everything that he did. And I decided to actually leave. And so from an agent standpoint, it was very easy for me. So I was actually, again, Kenny Bailey was, my best friend still to this day, but also Boss and Champ. And Champ was already in the league. And so I just followed them because I was friends with them, and I was just like, I didn't know anybody else, et cetera. So I chose to go with Jack Rial.
Yep.
That was Champ and Boss's
Okay.
agent, and he was a lawyer down here in Atlanta. So that part was easy for me. And then the training, I love the train.
Right.
Like, I love the train. And so we were training CES out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Me and Boss were actually riding back and forth every week and whatnot. Like I mentioned, that groin injury that I had, it cleared up. And so the biggest thing was Willis McGahee going down.
Right.
That was the ultimate decision.
Okay.
That was just like, all right, it's time to go.
But Coach Rick supported you, I'm sure. I know your family obviously supported you, but Coach Rick supported you on that. I mean, do you feel like that was a tough decision at the time and the McGahee thing put you over the top?
I didn't know before McGahee actually went down, I was contemplating it big time. And so I just took that as a sign from God. It's just like, you know what, maybe it's time for you to go.
Right.
And so Coach Rick absolutely supported me. He said that I could work on, my route running and stuff like that. I was like, well, Coach, I didn't say this to him, but I was like, thinking in the back of my head, I'll work on that shit when I'm in the league.
Right. Absolutely. That's right. Just give me the rock and put me on the field, baby. Let's go. Well, but I mean, he was honest with you. At least he's giving you a little bit of foresight. So you hire Real, and then sort of what is the agent process? Where does he get involved with this versus where you're involved or you guys are together involved? In other words, I'm sure he's talking to clubs and he's setting up your interviews and setting up your stuff. Did you run it? Did you go to the combine?
I did go to the combine.
Okay.
And so it's always a collective team effort and whatnot. And so it was really kind of special because one, I had Boss going through the same experiences, and so I could bounce it off of him because we're friends and whatnot. But then also JT Wall actually picked up Jack Rial as well.
Okay.
And my fullback. And so we did, again, it was comfort, people that you could trust. You had players around there. You had great families around as well. But yeah, they start talking to ball clubs. I mean, obviously the work that you did on the field is going to bring the offers.
Right. That's what got you there.
Yeah. And so for anybody that thinks like their agent is some super duper agent, no, it's based on what the hell you can do.
Right.
And what you do on the field and how you perform. Yeah, your agent has connections, but whatever. It's ultimately up to you, right?
Right.
So yeah, we went up to Indianapolis and the combine. The only two things that I did for them in the combine was I did a vertical jump and I did a standing long jump.
Okay.
And so I did that, and that gave them enough interest on, okay, he has explosion, et cetera. So when they came out to my pro day, that's when I ran the 40, and I ran like a 4.4 or something or whatever. And that was...
You ran a 4.4, and what size are you now?
I was probably 225 at the time.
Which
probably
is
maybe
flying
230.
for that size. Yeah, that's
right?
getting after it.
And so the biggest thing around me was just like, okay, he's been nicked up, right? He's been nicked up. Freshman year, I actually had my knee scope. I missed a couple games because of my shoulder and whatnot. And then my sophomore year, the groin injury, and that lingered into my junior year. And so teams were just like, what's up with this guy?
Right.
Does he really have the speed? Does he blah, blah, blah? What's going on with this groin injury? So I shut that all up when I ran the 440, and then also everything else that I did at the combine, the shuttles and all that stuff. They're just like, yeah. So you talk about the draft, that crap is nerve-wracking.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You talk about that. That is so nerve-wracking, man. And so I only took one team actually flew me out to come see him, and that was the Patriots.
Okay.
And the whole Robert Edwards thing, and Robert Edwards, being
Seymour
up there
was there too, wasn't he?
Seymour was there at
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
And so when I visited her, I actually saw Tom Brady in the locker room. I mean, I played against him, but that was like the first time. So it was just like, wow, you're like, damn, you're kind of like starstruck and everything. But they sat me down and talked with the running back coach, et cetera. But that was it. So I didn't know who really had interest in me.
But are they talking scheme? Are they just talking like your mindset? Are they just kind of checking you out mentally? What are they like? What are they doing in that running back room when you're meeting with that running back coach?
Yeah, it's, X's and O's.
Okay.
Tell you, draw up a formation or whatever the case may be. But they're really trying to get to know you, yes, as a player and an individual. They're making this investment. Who are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is an investment, especially if it's a first rounder. Like you're the face of they want you to be the face of the franchise. Can this player actually help us get to the Super Bowl, et cetera? Like there's just so many things that actually go into it. And it's a crazy process. It really is, especially up at the combine, all the teams that may have interest in you, but you don't know if they're really interested.
Right.
Asking you freaking all types of crazy ass.
Well, that's what
questions.
I was gonna. Yeah, tell me. I want to know. Like, give me 2 crazy questions or one crazy question you can think of that you got asked during the combine process.
You know what? I didn't get asked anything really, really crazy, but I've heard from other players.
Yeah.
But I mean, right down to who was it? The Cowboys coach, Bill
Parcells.
Bill Parcells. And so they were asking me, hey, Bill Parcells has a reputation to be, a hard coach and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, how would you handle, his coaching style? Like, they just want to, they just ask.
Okay. Yeah.
They just ask stuff just to see how you respond. Like, are you responding cocky? Are you,
right.
Whatever the case may be. And so they basically have their, whatever you want to call a score sheet, question sheet, and all that good stuff. So I wasn't really asked anything that crazy, but it is a crazy process.
Right.
And the guys that actually go up there and perform like really, really good, man, hats off to them because it's long.
Right.
I think I was up there 2 days or 3 days or something like that, but it's a long process, man.
Yeah. And they get you down to they get you down to your skivvies. They're measuring every little thing that you have, your hands, your arms, your speed, your height, your jumps, it's just a lot of different analysis that they're doing or whatever. So as you are working through the draft process still, you have, I don't mean to say this the wrong way, but you have a first round grade in your mind.
Yeah.
And the league is going to dictate where they find you fall, right? So where you were drafted versus where you thought you were drafted, what was that like? Because that's your day 2.
Yeah,
you're on day 2 now,
day
right?
2,
Instead of day 1. So how does that work on your psyche, your mind, et cetera, leading up to being drafted?
Yeah. So I was invited up to New York. I decided not to go. I'm glad I didn't go. You see some of these players just looking stupid and sad on TV. It's just like, oh God.
I remember Aaron Rodgers sitting in the green room till like the 20-something pick. It's like, dude, go home.
It is. You talk about nerve-wracking.
That would suck.
Oh my God, the draft is so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking. So I was in Athens in my apartment.
Okay.
And I'm watching the draft. I got, at the time, it was my girlfriend. And then I had buddies that came down from Pennsylvania, my day 1 guys. And then my dad it came down as well. And so we were watching the draft, and sure enough, I thought for sure, because at that point in time, running backs, it was nothing for 4 to 5 running backs going the first round.
Absolutely.
At that time.
Yeah.
Now it's just like
totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, crap. Well, Larry Johnson went, and I was just like, oh, I got to be next.
Yeah.
I got to be next.
Yeah.
Willis goes. I'm like, shit. I was like, well, definitely. Beginning of the second round.
Right.
Beginning of the second round. Oh, the second round's going on. I'm just like nervous as hell. I'm just like, oh shit, what's going on? And I just had a lot of energy. So we left the house. I stopped watching the shit.
Right.
We went to the gun range. That was like,
let me get some of this anxiety out of my system. Fire away, baby.
yeah. So we went to the gun range and we just unloaded. It was me and my buddies. And that's what I like to do. Like that training for the draft and everything. for whatever reason, me and my buddies, we got into guns, and I always been into guns and whatnot, just growing up in Pennsylvania. But we would just go to the gun range, and I just let off some steam, and then came back, and then that second day, the second day, I got the phone call, and I was the 77th pick in the third round. And I got the phone call from the Ravens, and actually Ernest Biner actually called me.
Yeah.
And so he was a former Ravens as well, running back position, et cetera. And so they called, and I was just like, thank God this shit is over, man. Like, thank God. But, like, literally, I was the third running back picked, and I was the third round. Like back then, I would have never thought it went that way.
Right.
But as soon as I came off the board, boom, running back started getting picked up. Boom, boom, boom. And so just a wild experience, man. Wild experience.
But would you consider it when you finally get that phone call, you finally see him, the commissioner's up there calling your name out finally, is it relief? Is it still is there still excitement? Like, I mean, are you disappointed at this point? Like, do you feel like I've got something to prove?
No, it was definitely something, like, I definitely had that feeling like I got something to prove, like kind of like a chip on my shoulder or whatnot, but definitely big time relief.
Yeah.
Glad this crap is over with. But also excitement. It's just, at the end of the day, like, my name got called and that childhood dream came true. And so it's definitely excitement. It's just like, hell yeah, like, I got drafted.
Right.
I made it. You know what I'm saying? And so definitely the work and everything, that's that. Like,
right.
You've been doing this. You've been preparing for this. The work is work, but that learning curve in the NFL, the shit ain't no joke, man.
Right.
The shit ain't no joke.
What was I just sitting on here that we're going to talk about. What was the hardest kind of adjustment on there? Pass pro, like, or just taking on big old dogs?
The speed.
Yeah. Well,
the speed for me, the speed of the game. And granted, the SEC is the closest thing to NFL football from a speed standpoint. But then you get there, and for me, and like, some players don't have any problem adjusting to the speed. But the speed for me, like the way that the plays were actually developing, they were developing. Now, like, looking back on it, it just took me a while to adjust to that. But not only that, the stretch zone run plays that the Ravens were running, I wasn't used to running that.
Right.
And also, like, how Coach Rick actually ran the playbook, it was different than the Ravens. And so it was almost, I say backwards, just from a cadence standpoint, a number standpoint. It took me a while to adjust to that. And I ain't gonna lie, I was effing up plays.
Right.
I was effing up plays. And I remember Coach Simon, he was a running back coach. And this man was screaming at the top of his lungs so hard. I thought he was gonna have a damn blood vessel break in his freaking his head and just pass out. He damn near passed out because I effed up a damn play. I ran the wrong way.
Right.
And again, like, that's the difference between, like, the Georgia UGA, the Bulldogs playbook and the Ravens playbook, that it took me a while to adjust to that. But yeah, man, speed of the game, hits, not so much.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're dealing with some strong ass dudes and everything like that, but the hits and everything, your body's already conditioned for.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you're toting a ton of muscle too. You're 225-ish, you said right there. So,
yeah.
But leading up to the so now you've got the phone call, you get drafted, little excitement, little relief, little anxiety goes away. Now you've hit your dream, but now you haven't signed your contract just yet. What are contract negotiations like with that? And are you a part of those, or is your agent here and the liaison here, or are you sitting in and saying hell no? Or hell yes? Yeah,
that's a great question. So I don't know about now, but whenever I was drafted, it was just plain as day. Like, last year this person got this, and this year you're just going to get a little bit more.
Okay.
And it is what it is. There's no negotiating.
Okay.
There's no specialties inside of the contract. If you get X amount of playing time, if you get so many yards, you get so many touchdowns. If you make Pro Bowl. The third round, no, you don't.
None
get
of that's in there.
None of that is in there. It is just a plain Jane contract. You get a signing bonus, and this is what it is, and you get the rookie minimum.
Right. So so if I don't know back then, but back then was there a 5th-year option still for the first rounder? So were you on a 4-year
No,
deal?
it was not.
It
No,
wasn't
you're
like that
talking
then.
like a 4th. It was only a 3-year contract.
That's what I thought. Okay,
It was a 3-year
okay.
contract. So yeah.
And so there was your first 3 years in an NFL, you get that guaranteed money, that signing bonus, if you will. In the NFL, it's brutal, right? So I mean, if they cut you, what you got paid is what you got paid.
What you got paid
and
is
you're
what you
done.
got paid. Yeah.
Yeah, you're done now. So
Yeah.
that's tough. So I mean, the signing bonuses nowadays though are unreal, and the way they do these contracts, they weren't like that. I don't believe back then. Obviously they were big, but they weren't the sign of the guaranteed money, especially on that second contract. They weren't the same guaranteed money. But so anything like, so now you've gone from Athens and now we're in Baltimore. We've gone from some really badass dudes to some really future, I mean, lots and lots of talent and Hall of Famers on that offense and that defensive side. And I want to go through some of those names in a second as well. But tell me, was there any culture shock from Athens to Baltimore other than the weather or whatever? I know you're kind of used to that up there, right? But I mean, is there anything that kind of threw you off when you got there, or were you kind of ready for everything expectation-wise?
No, at this point in time, I was actually ready for everything. And then also, you're young.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of money in your pocket. You think you're a damn hot shot and all this shit
Right.
until you get your freaking, like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get their damn face punched in, right? And so there's a little bit of that where, you know, you come in just like, I'm drafted and
Yeah.
all this stuff. I never carried myself like that or expressed it verbally, but from a killer mindset, I absolutely had that going in.
Yeah.
I actually had the mindset of I'm not here to make friends.
Right.
I'm here to freaking, grab a spot.
Now it's a job.
You know what I'm saying? It's a job
Yeah.
and it's a real deal. And so, but also it's humbling because I was messing up the damn playbook. I'm thinking, shit, my ass is going to get freaking cut. Like, damn it. Like, this is it. Like, I'm not grabbing this like I wanted to. And so there is that reality piece that, kind of hits you in your face and humbles your ass. And so just staying in the playbook and grabbing everything that you can and learning from, the vets of the game. But not only that, like the coaches that really, like you and they see the talent and whatnot, they gravitate towards you and they pull you underneath their wing and whatnot. But I was quiet, man. Believe it or not, if you know me, I am quiet.
Right.
And so I went into the locker room very quiet. Not show boasting, not, thinking anything, but naturally I just like to sit back and observe.
Well, anytime I ever seen you at the field, we've been around each other a
Yeah.
bunch over the years. Anytime I ever see you in the field, you're in the corner by the
Yeah.
dugout with a little thing pulled over. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, and you're just quiet. You always say hello. You've
Yeah.
always acknowledged and been polite, and I appreciate that. But it's like, I see it, but it's like, I can't imagine all the people wanting to come up to you and all the people wanting to talk to you, including myself always as well. But just, that's pretty cool. But so you're a dog, right? I mean, you're going in there, you're a dog, but now you're going up against a bunch of other dogs, man. Like I look at that Ravens team and I believe you're right. I believe they statistically had the best defensive season ever, even better than the 85 Bears back in that Super Bowl run, points wise, maybe yardage wise, a couple of different categories. But just talk a little bit about you show up. Do you have something to prove, or you just want to go be the best Musa?
You got everything to prove.
Okay.
Like at the end of the day, you have everything to prove because nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed at this point because third rounders can get cut.
Right.
Like they don't care about that little bit amount of money that they gave you.
Right.
Like shit, we got somebody else that can perform. Like we're trying to put the best out there on the field to get where we want to get, and that's a championship.
Right.
At the end of the day, and it's not about your feelings or anything. It's about can you perform and are you a fit for this team?
Right.
And more importantly, not only that is this. There's third rounders that get put on the practice squad,
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
And then back then there was also NFL Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So my rookie year, I had a roommate named Tony Pecios,
Mm-hmm.
big 6'7" Greek, big ass dude, man. Yeah, 6'7".
You got kids,
So here it is. Like I got injured during preseason my rookie year, which actually set me back. We were doing a damn blocking drill against the linebackers, running backs and linebackers, and I was going against another rookie linebacker, and it was a stalemate. And so he started driving me back, and I stepped on a damn pad that was out there, and I stepped on the pad and my knee shifted, and so I had to get my knee scope, meniscus tear. So that set me back. And then I had to work my way back into it, into the fold and everything like that. And so, but my roommate, he got hurt. And so he had to miss the whole year. And then he went over to NFL Europe. And then he came back with a friend of his. And that friend is, we call him Silverback Gorilla. And that's James Harrison.
Okay. Oh,
James Harrison. James Harrison was actually slated to do a preseason with the Baltimore Ravens. They didn't give that man a shot.
Crazy big Harrison at the
James
Steelers?
Harrison came back from NFL Europe, was in my apartment, sleeping on the floor.
Wow.
At this time, he didn't have a name or anything like that. He was slated to actually, be in preseasons with us. But again, like, you look at that cast over there.
Yeah.
They didn't give him a shot. He went to the damn Steelers.
Yeah.
And it was history ever since. And I'm telling you, every time he freaking played us, he made it an effing point to freaking embarrass us.
Yeah.
And the story goes even deeper. I don't know if you want to discuss that now or
absolutely.
So James Harrison, Silverback Gorilla, pound for pound, probably one of the strongest dudes I have ever fucking played against. But we had the same trainer because after my sophomore year, I actually had that leg break. Mm-hmm. And I knew I had to do something different to actually come back bigger, faster, stronger. So I hired a trainer that actually was coming down from Pennsylvania. And he was also going out to Pittsburgh training guys. And he was always talking about this James Harrison guy. And I was just like, who? Like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, Moose. He's like, you're strong, but this dude's on a whole nother level. He's like, he's doing dips with like 445s and shit. I'm like, what?
Right.
Dips with 440? Who the hell is this cat? So here it is. How I made my name for the Ravens early on was special teams, especially like on punt return and all that. They would put me on the best player, right? The guy that was actually making a lot of plays. And so here it is. They stick me on James Harrison.
Full circle.
I'm telling you, I come off the damn line. And I'm just like, if I got these hands on you, you weren't getting loose.
Right.
Like I was a damn pit bull, right?
Right.
And so here it is. It's just like, yeah, I come off the line and this dude hits me dead and stops me dead in my tracks. I'm just like, damn, what the hell just happened?
Right.
I was like, all right, yeah, you think you got lucky that time. Second time, same damn thing happens. I'm just like, who the hell is this dude? And meanwhile, he's making plays down the field.
Right.
I'm like, all right, you're strong. I'll give that to you. Well, let's see if you can run. Oh, this motherfucker can run too. Damn it. So here it is. I try to run with him, and I am running with him. But the strength and the speed that James Harrison had and his low center of gravity, he just caused havoc all over the damn field. And so I would just kamikaze throw myself into him right before he made the play, hoping that he didn't make the play. But ultimately, that dude, every time that he played us, from a Steelers Ravens standpoint, and you know the history between these two ball clubs, it is bang shang-a-lang. Like we going at it,
right?
You strap up. It's war.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah,
it's war in the trenches. And so he was in the trenches, and this guy, even with our big offensive lineman, again, his strength, his speed, his size, his leverage, he would cause havoc with our offensive line. And these guys are 330, 340.
Yeah.
And he's moving them because he has that leverage and getting up underneath them, having them dudes on ice skates and shit.
Yeah.
Man, that guy was bad.
He was a beast.
He was bad.
Yeah, he was a bad man for a long time. So, but that's funny though that he's kind of got that. It's still motivated by what they did or didn't do with him at Baltimore. And it's also crazy that Baltimore's not giving him a look there too. To me, that's just insane because I mean, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, but I know he's going to the Hall of Fame if he's not in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
Yeah,
he's definitely in the Ring of Honor probably for the Steelers.
Oh, sure.
If he isn't by now.
Well, he's part of that Super Bowl run with them, those guys, and Big Ben and all those guys. But so you get to Baltimore, you're playing with all these bad mamma jammas, and I'm going to name a few of them right now, but Jamal Lewis is there, Jonathan Ogden, Todd Heap, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, who you mentioned, Terrell Suggs, Peter Boulware. I mean, these are dudes that stand out for me name-wise as some of the pinnacle on that side of the ball. Now you're playing for a team that just won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, 3 years or 2 or 3 years ago.
I missed it. Yep.
Under Billick. So Give me a little bit of insight what it was like playing for Billick. I mean, as a coach, do you interact with the head coach a lot, or are you just positionally?
No, it's kind of funny. Like, even though you're a draft pick or whatever the case may be, for my experience, and it might be different on different ball clubs and different head coaches, but Coach Billick didn't actually talk to me at all. Like, I didn't even know if he liked me or whatever the case may be. Like, and again, like I said, like I was messing up.
Right.
I was messing up. They're probably thinking like this is a waste of a freaking draft pick. That type
what were we
damn
thinking?
thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I truly do believe they saw the talent in me. And then, long story short, I tell you this: like Billick didn't say anything to me, but then there's a moment in my career where I'm performing, I'm producing. He sees what I'm capable of, and he comes up to me in the lunch line, and he says, "There's my favorite Bulldog." You know, so that type of thing. And so, and then also he just saw the fire that I had, like on game day and shit. And I go up to him and have that freaking game face on, and talking about let's effing go, like that type of thing. And then also preseason, man. You don't get many chances at the next level.
Right.
In preseason, for me, early on, I had to shine.
Yeah.
I had to shine. It was game time.
Well, you had a couple killer preseasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so those preseasons, like, they solidified my spot on the team.
Right.
From a running back standpoint, from a special team standpoint, until they knew that I have proven myself. Man, those preseasons were crucial for me.
Right.
And so that's where I stood out, especially like after I broke my leg.
Yeah.
I didn't know what my future was going to be like. And
Right.
so I made it a point whenever I broke my leg November of my second year in the league, before I got on the operating table, I was just like, I made my mind. I was like, hey, there isn't going to be no self-pity. There isn't going to be, so second guessing it. I drew a line in the sand. I was like, I'm going to come back faster, stronger, and bigger from this. And sure enough, I did. And that preseason, when I came back, actually I came back early and I tried to play the following year. And I played in one game. It was against Jacksonville, but the leg was still healing. The mind and the body was right, but just that leg. And I had modified practices. I couldn't practice the full week because it's just the swelling in the leg and everything.
But let's go back. I don't mean to interrupt you, but let's go back because I mean it was one of the most gruesome injuries that you can ever have in the NFL. You had a compound fracture. I don't know how many bones compounded, if one or two, but you get horse collar tackled by Roy Williams of the Dallas Cowboys. And I know we've talked about this as well, but that's when the next year, and I told you, I think you helped set that rule standard, and I'm sure the future NFLers appreciate that, especially the running backs. But he horse collar tackles you. You get your leg trapped underneath you, bones pop out. I can't imagine the excruciating pain. And now, again, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to set the stage for that horrific injury. And now you're on the operating table. You're not feeling sorry for yourself. You tried to come back early and pick it back up.
Yeah. So, I mean, even then, like, whenever we were playing the Cowboys, like, I broke through the hole and I was off to the races, and Roy comes up on my left, and I stiff arm him with my left hand. And he grabs my horse collar, and he swings around my body, and his
lands on
whichever leg of his, I don't remember what it was. It basically, I was in the turf, and it was straight leg, my right leg, and he basically kind of it was like an axe. Yeah. And all the weight, everything, the break happened. And you can go online and check it out, people.
Yeah.
A lot of
it's
people
gruesome.
have.
Yeah, it's gruesome. It's gruesome.
But I was sitting there, and was I in a lot of pain? No, but I was just like, my career is over.
Right.
Like, that's what I was thinking.
That's what's going through your mind. Yeah.
Like, it's donezo. But yeah, going into the operating room, I was just like, look, I'm coming back from this. And so I just got on my grind and did everything that I possibly could. And with God's favor, I came back stronger, faster, bigger than ever. And I actually, I don't know the exact stats, but I was definitely one of the top running backs from a preseason standpoint.
You were the top running back, yeah. No, you're top. I think you had about 200 or 300 yards in preseason. Yeah.
And so I did my thing, man. And hats off to the trainer that I had, Steve Saunders, and he actually became one of the head lifting coach at the Ravens down the road. But ultimately, man, with God's favor, I came back with vengeance, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you bounced back. You said you were a little banged up as you're coming out of there, and you probably came back maybe a little too early. The leg wasn't quite ready for you. And then at what point does that leg get well for you that you feel like you're back to 100%, or does it ever?
Immediately because I tried coming back, and I forget what month it was the following year. So the break happened in November, my second year. I came back the third season, and I played in one game and decided to go on the IR because the leg just wasn't ready.
Right.
At that point in time, you're talking from a organization standpoint, dude, like you don't know what's up.
Right.
You don't know what's up because obviously they're probably going to draft somebody. They're going to bring somebody in, which they did. They brought in Mike Anderson. They brought in Willis McGahee. And so I was on the bubble.
Right.
So it was either shit or get off the pot. And you got to perform. You got to perform, young man, or you're gone. And so I know, from just having a relationship with coaches and everything, and this is just 2020 hindsight, they're just like, man, it's like your name came up a lot of like, do we trade them? Do we, whatever the case may be, re-release?
Wow.
Yeah, this is after the fact.
Oh,
this is after the fact.
Yeah.
Like after the fact, like, okay, he's good. He's made the team. And this is down the road, right? That the coaches, some of the coaches that I was actually close to, shared this information with me. But also they were just like, have you seen him? Have you seen him down in the weight room? Do you see what he's doing? Like he's back.
Right.
And then that preseason when I knew I was on the bubble, right? That's when things clicked for me from an offensive standpoint. That's when I started gaining the confidence. But not only that, the amount of shape that I was in, dude, I did my thing, man.
Well, you outshined Anderson that preseason. You had a better preseason than he did. I don't know where y'all ended up 1-2 or 1A, 1B, but you outshined him. You started it, right?
I earned the second spot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. But I mean, that just tells you your perseverance, your hard work, your dedication to your craft or whatever. But it's kind of a no-fail mentality, right? I mean, you're just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. So you make the team there. Is that your last year or your second to last year with the Ravens at that point after that preseason, after the injury?
Yeah, so that was actually my fourth year.
Is that so? That's 06, 07?
Something like
okay.
that.
Well, I know because I know again. I've asked you this. You wouldn't spill the beans on me, but there was so the Ravens kind of run ends for you, right? At some point, the Ravens run ends. Do they waive you, cut you?
No.
Okay, so did you leave as a free agent?
So they actually didn't. So I got the fourth the optional year,
okay.
the fourth year.
You did get okay.
And then after my fourth.
I think 07.
So I got a fourth year and I got a fifth year with the Ravens.
Yeah.
So just getting it kind of mixed up here, but I can't. What's crazy is this: like I came back from that leg injury and having a great year, and then I went out with a freaking neck injury.
Oh man.
And I had my C3 and my C4 fused together, but I came. I actually got another contract year from that as well because I had to go on IR again.
Right.
So I came back from that and then played the fifth year. And then after the fifth year, that's when Billick was let go from his head coaching responsibilities. And they brought in John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh remembered me from destroying their asses when he was with the Eagles,
right?
From a special team standpoint, but really from a running back standpoint. Like I like absolutely just demolished them in the preseason. And so he remembered me, but also he was just like, he sat me down and he's like, hey, he's like, is everything okay with you? He's just like, you're not moving like you used to. And so that neck injury, like, even though I had it fixed and things were fine, I took another hit on like in the back of my head and I started getting some of the symptoms. And some of the symptoms were I was getting numbness through my hands and whatnot. And every time I would get jarred really hard, it's called a spinal cord concussion. Okay. You got a spinal canal, and your spinal cord goes through that spinal canal, and most people around the C3, C4, et cetera, they have enough space. My space was very narrow, and it might be a hereditary thing because two of my brothers also had to quit football because of that. They chose to, and so the spinal cord would actually get touched, through the jarring
Yeah.
of the skeleton in your body. And so it would touch the spinal cord, and that's where I was getting the symptoms. And so I was getting that all through my 5th year. And so to tell you the truth, I wasn't moving the same.
Right.
I'm just holding on
Right,
like, hey,
right.
can I get another damn check?
Right.
There comes a point in your career, majority of us, because 80% have to, after the NFL, you got to work.
Right.
Like you may have a cushion and all that stuff, but you have to work.
Right.
You don't have enough in the bank. And so I'm just like holding on. I'm riding to this damn thing till the wheels fall off.
You want that second contract.
Even with the second contract.
Yeah.
Even with the second contract. So, long story short, I wasn't moving.
Right.
I can be honest now.
Right.
Like I wasn't moving the same. And then, the Jets actually picked me up. They picked me up late in the preseason, which was like May. I went up to New York and I was staying in like hostel dorms or whatever. And it's like, are you going to get an apartment? You're going to get a house? I'm like, hell no. What the hell are y'all talking about? Like, no.
Right.
If I make this team, I'll get an apartment.
Right.
But I'm not buying anything up here just because I knew how volatile it was. But I didn't know how volatile it was because I was with the Ravens. When I went up to the Jets, I really saw how effing cutthroat this business is.
Right.
Dude, guys were getting pulled off the wire, and then you were the last one in. Oh, so you're the first one out.
Right.
They didn't even give you a damn chance.
Yeah.
Because they had so many blah, blah, blah. Like you saw a guy there for a week, and then another person comes in, old boy's gone.
Right.
That type of thing. But then also I was blessed and fortunate enough to play with the old gunslinger, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
And that man, God, I remember when he first came in and we were actually all warming up and everything. We are about to do a lift, a speed and agility or whatever, a lifting session. And he's all freaking stretching out his old ass bones, looking old as hell. He was older than our head coach, older than our OC. But I finally realized why they called him the gunslinger. One, which is awesome part of this story. First time I ever seen an OC actually change the verbiage of the playbook for one player.
Yeah.
Because he was up in Green Bay for the longest.
Right.
And to make him feel comfortable, to get him to do what he needed to do, they changed the damn playbook. Not only that, from a read standpoint, when that man was in the game, to say, hey, number 4's in the game, F your progressions. You're not the second read. You're not the third read. You better be ready at all times. Because he would see one side of the field and he knew it was open on the other side of the field and he blindly freaking throw it.
Yeah.
Just effing throw it.
Yeah.
That's why he threw so many interceptions.
My man's over your shoulder right up top there, baby, up there by Sweetness. You see, I got Favre. I have mad respect for Favre too. But
Hey, he was awesome.
So then I may have seen you. Well, did you? How long did you stay with the Jets?
I was only there for a preseason.
That's what I was thinking. Okay,
they cut me like right before the last game of the preseason.
Okay, so now let's dig into that. Like, not to open a scar there, but so now this is probably the first time you've ever sort of hit a wall, so to speak. I mean, I'm not going to say failure, but like you realize I'm not wanted here at least.
Yeah.
What's your mindset, or are you disappointed? Do you feel like you're at the end of the road now? Where are you at?
In my mind, I wasn't at the end of the road, but my body was at the end of the road. Even though I was 26, and even though like we're in the room and they're showing, we're running through highlights and the guys in the room see how I run the ball and everything. They're just like, damn, like my neck was bothering me still. My knees were bothering me. And I remember actually calling my wife and I was just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Right.
And so that realization at that point in time, I just knew it was over.
Right.
Like I was just like, if I get another season out of this, I don't know about the next season.
Yeah.
I literally called her and I was just like, I remember it was that night during training camp. I was like, I don't know if I can do this crap anymore. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, really? And she's like, you're just going to quit like that? Like she kind of checked me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad she did.
Like a good woman will.
Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, babe.
Yeah.
This body isn't working like it used to. You know what I'm saying? And so, plus you got younger, fresher legs, et cetera. And it was grueling. Like that preseason was really grueling for me.
Well, the running back position in the NFL period is grueling, and the injuries that you obviously go through high school, then college, and now you're in pros, and it's just the nagging things. The spinal cord and your groin and your knees are not nagging things. I'm not saying that, but it's like the life expectancy of a NFL running back in the league is very short. I mean, those guys that play like Adrian Peterson, somebody that plays that long and is that volatile and that violent, I can't believe. Frank Gore, oh, no doubt about it. And he played 100 years. Oh, my Lord. He did. I mean, he was a dog, too.
Seriously.
I mean, yeah, he played he had a great career as well. But I just, like, that is not the normal.
No, it isn't.
I mean, I was a Cowboys fan growing up, and I remember Tony Dorsett. I mean, he was the best at his position for, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But after that, the window closes and the injuries catch up. And, as he's gotten older, he's had a lot of CT issues. God bless him for everything. But all those things, the hits, everything adds up. But so you've done this. Now you're sort of at the end of your NFL career, and we're looking back. Is there anything, and I minus the injury maybe, obviously I know that shortened you big time, but is there anything in your mind that you would change over the process, from high school to the Georgia to the NFL stuff? Is there anything that you would change? Good.
No.
You loved it. You lived it.
I loved it, lived it, gave everything I had. And that's what's kind of crazy is that last weekend, my oldest daughter actually graduated. And so I was kind of giving her a speech around family and friends and whatnot. And
Shout out to Jada.
Yeah, Jada Smith.
Congrats,
graduated.
Jada.
Proud of you, baby girl. But what I told her was just like, hey, success is hard. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a marriage, if it's school, if it's sports, anything in life, to be successful, it takes a lot of hard work. And I was just like, and at the end of the day, everything may not go your way, but if you can honestly look at yourself and say, I put 110% into it,
amen,
you can walk away from it because you gave it your best, and your best, sometimes it doesn't cut it.
Right.
It just doesn't. That's life. So I gave it everything I did, man.
Amen. Yeah,
I did. I truly did, and I loved it to a T, man. And sacrificed a lot, but man, would I do it again? Would I go through the same injuries? Hell yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Would. Well, good for you, and I think that's this. I love this story, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate you doing it. We've had some serious talk. We've had some fun talk. You mind if we wrap it up with some silly talk, some rapid fire stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to get after it a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's get after it, man. So we're foodies here. We're fat asses here, so we like to hear what people like to eat. But give me your favorite meal. I know you mentioned the restaurant at UGA back in the day, but give me your favorite meal, who it's cooked by, from maybe appetizer through dessert, and tell me what Musa Smith wants to chow down on, or what you're inviting me to dinner on to have with you, baby.
You know what's funny? Right now, I go through spurts of everything, but right now I am all about a damn low country boil, man.
Me too.
Some damn shrimp, some corn, some sausage.
Let's go. So I'll be over there. Just let me know what time,
Right.
what the address is, Musa. I'll be there, man. I love that.
But other than that, I am a big foodie, man. I like everything from hole in the wall barbecue places to side of the road barbecue places to fine dining. And shout out to my brother-in-law, Indigo Road, Steve Palmer. He actually owns a bunch of restaurants here in Atlanta. One being Oak, Coletta in the Avalon, Oku down on Howell Mill Road, and Daco down in Krog Street down in that area. But man, I love some damn food, and I'm allergic to seafood, but I'll eat the hell out of it.
And you're tearing up shrimp.
And I'm tearing up shrimp. I'm tearing
And the
up
corn
shrimp.
that's cooked with the shrimp.
Hey, there's a story about me. And the place that I work is called Impact Partnership. So I'm in the insurance industry on the retirement side. But we went out to Bones, and Bones has this. I think it's a lobster bisque. And I'm telling you, the first time I took a spoonful of that and it touched my mouth, I was just like, oh my God, this is gold. And I just kept on eating it and eating it. And I must have had like a cut in my gums or whatever. Next thing you know, my freaking mouth freaking swells up like Hitch, Will Smith, and like my damn lip is getting freaking big. They're like, do we need an EpiPen? I was like, no, I'll be all right.
Right. That's too funny. Well, good. So I'm going to name drop at some of your brother's restaurants and make sure I can get me a little a good meal and good seat and a little discount, right? A little
let me know.
discount.
Let me know. I'll let Steve know. And
Let's
hook you
go.
up.
I love that. So, and I love all those foods too. But I can't believe you wouldn't have had lobster bisque or she crab soup and all those good things up in Baltimore. I mean, that's the pinnacle for seafood up there. So, no.
You know what? It's funny. Like I didn't touch it then.
Yeah.
And then like when I got out the league and started going to these dinners and everything, I was just like, you know what? Just let me try this stuff.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not paying for it.
Right.
It's on the company's dime.
That's right. Most definitely. Expense reports right there. All right, teammates. Give me some teammates, or maybe at Georgia, or maybe at Baltimore. Who are the guys that no matter what the apparel was, what the score was, how hot it was, who's going to make you laugh in the huddle or bring you back to where you can laugh like you're laughing right now? Somebody that could always get you there.
Man, hands down, some of the funniest characters that I have been around. And like I said, the locker room is sacred. It's one of the best things in collegiate sports to even pro teams is the guys in the locker room. And so with the Bulldogs, it was definitely Kendrickville, a.k.a. Pooh. Pooh was hilarious. In the NFL, believe it or not, it was Kelly Gregg and Bart Scott. But Kelly Gregg, I mean, at any given moment, he would have you damn near pissing your pants.
Right.
That dude was funny.
He's a big old D tackle, right?
Yeah,
big old D tackle.
Well, he wasn't big. He was short and stocky.
He was short and stocky, but
he was a tree stump.
Yes.
A badass.
He had like
one,
a weird number, like 61 or something. I don't remember some
like
crazy
that.
number for a D tackle. Yeah, it's more like an offensive lineman.
But
right there.
I'll also tell you who was actually really funny in all the running backs rooms that I ever been in was actually Jasper Sanks.
Yeah.
Jasper Sanks could have been a stand-up comedian. Like, he was funny as crap.
He was a dog too, wasn't he?
He was a bulldog. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's funny. But everybody likes to hear those locker room stories. Is there any semi-clean locker room story that gets out there that you can tell?
I can't even remember anything right now. Those
Yeah.
dudes had so many damn like one-liners and everything.
Right.
It's just you just remember them being funny as hell.
Right.
Anytime
and you appreciate them.
And the funny thing about it is that they were so funny, like even the crap that they didn't say that was funny, but them just coming out of their mouths and having their tone on it.
Right.
You just would just start laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how funny they were.
But you need that, and I mean, because it's a grind, right? So you got to have a little humor, you got to have some camaraderie and the brotherhood. I mean, I can only imagine how strong that is at the highest level and how cool that is, because you got a bunch of everybody's a dog. So to me, that's a really cool brotherhood right there. But the UGA thing, I just feel like in the old days, like we talked about pre-NIL, everybody was a brother. Everybody was bleeding for that G on their helmet. Everybody was playing for that, not for the name on the back, but the name on the front, so to speak. And so cool pride stuff there as well. So
absolutely.
So any advice you would give to the young guns coming up now, the high school guys, the college guys, the guys that are entering into the league or in the league, anything that you would just any kind of advice as a OG now?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that always stands out to me, and it was Richard Seymour. He addressed the team, and to this day, I actually repeat it. So it's nothing that I came up with, but for whatever reason, it hit me and it stuck with me. He said, what you put into something is what you're going to get out of it. And that's a God honest truth. Mm-hmm. It comes down to your mindset. Your mindset is everything. And whether you have the talent or you don't have the talent, the majority of the people that, I was around with had the talent, but did they have the mindset?
Right.
And a lot of them didn't have the mindset. There's a lot of guys that should be that I played with that should have been in the NFL, but they didn't have the right mindset. They made bad choices, et cetera, or they didn't want to work as hard or whatever the case may be. So again, that's what you put into something is what you get out of it. But as I get older and I reflect back on, everything and the blessings that I have received is one, the gift that God gave me. And really kind of reflecting on that as I'm older now is that gift could have been easily taken away from me. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, recognize that when I was younger, it was me, me, me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And recognizing that there's a higher power and that ultimately he gave me these gifts and he's the one that actually glorified these gifts because he wrote this book for me.
Right.
Right.
Amen.
And so he has protected me the whole way, even through the ups and the downs. He has protected me and covered me through the whole way. So shout out to my Heavenly Father, JC, and the Holy Spirit, brother.
No betrayal up there, baby. No betrayal at all. He's always got your back, and he kind of knows what's best for you. And you just, but if you put the work in, as you said, Seymour said, I mean, you put the work in, you're going to get out of it. I know you were committed to your craft. You were dedicated to your craft, to your body, to your diet, to your mind, all these different things, to learning a new playbook, for goodness sakes, all those different things. But I mean, you persevered, you made it through, and then you shine on the backside of it. Like I said, I know you're a super dad, a super husband, a great, all around great guy. I mean, always friendly, always willing to chat it up, if whatever. And I appreciate that. And the fact that you want to glorify God there, I can certainly appreciate that.
I want to add something to that. So at the end of the day, it comes down to this, is that if I could tell any of these young guys right now today, if I was standing in front of them, it would be this: chase greatness through God. Chase greatness through God and protect your heart. What are you really filling your heart with? If it's just about the glitz and the glam and the fame and all this shit that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, what are you doing this for?
Right.
What are you doing this for? Like, do you truly love the sport? You don't.
Right.
You don't. If you're thinking about not putting, your full effort out there, because I talked about it. What you're going to get out of something is what you get put into something is what you're going to get out of it. So there's that. That definitely irks me. And just seeing athletes making dumb choices and ruining their careers.
Right.
It irks the shit out of me.
Well, it's a good time to give Skyla a shout out, because I know you've been in a lot of track meets with her. You might want to give her some props for what she just went through with state. Maybe just give her a little shout out.
Yeah, she did awesome, man. She finished up real nice. 300 meters, 300 meter hurdles. She actually podium, 8th place, and
Congrats.
she's first time ever top 50 in the state of Georgia for that. But she has a lot in front of her, a lot of opportunity, and I just pray to God that she keeps on grinding and working as hard as that she can. And I mean, all of my daughters, my youngest one too, Dallas, she's up and coming, and she's a dual threat. She's really good at softball, and she can be very dangerous when it comes to the track standpoint.
I'll call you to recruit her for some softball, some softball down the road, baby. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you just want to throw out there for anybody? Anything you just want to talk about to finish it up?
No, man. I would just say this. Thank you for having me on the show. I actually really enjoyed this. I didn't know what to expect from it, but it's been awesome. Just reflecting back on things that I haven't really thought about in a long time, and just taking a trip down memory lane. So thank you for that, and thank you for all my teammates, my linemen that don't get the glory, and I got all the glory, but I couldn't have done without you. And just love my family, love Jesus Christ, and man, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, there you have it, man. The man, the myth, the legend, the Moose. Musa, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on, and we obviously wish you and your family and your children continued success. But thank you so much for being a part of the Chapped Ass podcast. I'd like to remind sponsors, if you want to hear more of this, there should be a subscribe button somewhere around here. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button on Spotify so we can do more of these kind of interviews. But again, greatness on the scene, on the set at the Chapped Ass podcast, a face for radio. And thank you so much, Musa. Special thanks to Hardpan Media, Brad and April, always keeping us looking good. Although you don't need help, Musa, I need help.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. And shout out to OBA Living, Andy Hollis, doing the best of the work on the YouTube side of things, keeping us up and running. So thank you so much for being here, Musa. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Sir.
Thank you.
Have a great day, yep. Yes, sir. And we out.
Yeah!